Hello, Jason here. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to animate any object along a path, much like you're seeing here with this plane following this path which I have drawn by hand. So let's begin, and I will start by creating a composition. That'll be fine. I'll just round that down to 5 seconds. So we're starting with a blank composition, and let's get our pen tool up here, and let's draw any shape we want, any path. Let's just draw a wiggly path like that, and let's just move this one so it starts off the screen. I'm just going to turn our stroke to 5, and I'm just going to click fill and turn that off, so it's just a solid line and there's no fill. I'm just going to click on our points and just smooth this out as best I can. Just like so. It can be any path you want. That will do for now, and let's add a shape layer or a circle. So this can be any layer, any shape layer, any vector or PNG or JPEG you've imported. This can be anything you like. I'm just going to have a circle for now. Let's just make that. Let's make that pink. Let's scale that up slightly. And what we're going to do now is go to our path layer. I'm just going to name these just so we know which one's which. That is our path, and this is our object. So we go to our path, we click the arrow, we go to contents, shape 1, path, and we're going to click on path here, not the stopwatch, just the name path so it highlights, and we're going to copy, and then we're going to go back to our object, our layer that we want to follow this path, and we're going to press P or go down to position, and we're going to click on position, and then we're just going to paste. And there you go, instantly you can see the positional path of our layer is now identical to our path. And I'll just scrub through so you can see. And there you go, you can see that is now following that path quite quickly. So what we can do is click on this final keyframe and just drag that, and you'll see all the keyframes in the middle are extending with it. And that is because the keyframes are set to roving. If I just highlight both and right click, you'll see rove across time. Now that will travel along that path for the 5-second duration of our composition. You wouldn't have noticed because it's a circle, but if I was to delete this, and let's go with let's just draw a quick arrow. So let's just go like so very quickly. There we go, and then should already be copied, so I'm just going to paste again on our position. So press P, highlight a position and paste. Gonna move our final keyframe to the end again, and then just move forward slightly, and you'll see that the rotation of our layer doesn't change. It doesn't point towards the direction it's traveling, which isn't always what you want if you are using a plane like we had in our example at the start. You want it to be pointing in the direction it's traveling. So what we're going to do is click on our layer, our object layer. I'm just going to rename that again to object. We're going to right click on the layer itself here. Right click, and we're going to go to transform, auto orient. I'm going to click that, and we want to orient along path. So make sure this is selected and click OK, and you will see it now faces the direction it is traveling in. Let's play that through. And there we go. That's it, that's the basics. So if we were to, on our path, alter our path tool, it will not update to our object. So you will have to delete the keyframes, copy and paste again. You may have to reorient the layer. If, for example, you wanted this to be pointing the other way, let's say this is the front here on the left, we would just go to our object and simply rotate here in the transform properties. So 180, what we need there, and then it will travel along facing that way. I'm just going to undo that so I have my path back in the correct position. Another tip for us, if we go back to our position of our object, you will see that you can't alter the speed from start to finish. Sometimes, for example, you may want it to speed up at certain points and slow down in others. What we would do there is highlight both keyframes, right click and untick Rove across time. That will reveal our additional keyframes in the middle. And here we can alter the positions of these keyframes to create different speeds at different times, depending on what we're looking for. It is worth noting that these keyframes are created where our points are. So this point here, that would be a keyframe, next one, keyframe, and so on. So when you're drawing your path, be aware that if you want, for example, some hills, let me just turn off fill, turn that up to 10, and let's delete that, start again. So if we were drawing hills, for example, we would want our points at the top and bottom because that is where the speed adjustments will be. If you were to draw lots of points like this, it would be hard to make sure that our timings are correct. So we want as little points as possible, and we want our points to be where we want our keyframes. So if I was doing hills, I would have the points right at the top and right at the bottom where we want the speed to slow down at the top and increase at the bottom, for example. Make sure the points are where we want our keyframes. So let's just have it like that for now. Let's go to our contents and our shape layer again, our path, copy. Let's get a new object. Let's draw another circle. So I'm just going to paste that onto our layer. I'm going to move that keyframe towards the end, and again I'm just going to highlight both keyframes, right click and untick Rove across time. That will reveal our keyframes. And I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but for example here we want it to slow down as it reaches the top. So I'm just going to go to our graph editor, and then we're going to just adjust our timings so that it changes speed at different points within our layer. Let's just see how that looks. So it's now coming to a complete stop, which is not what I want, so I'm just going to move these up so it never stops dead. Play that again. And we want this one here to not slow down too much, so I'm just going to move that one up. Play that again. And there we go. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but you will see the idea. It will slow down, speed up, and slow down. So we want to make sure we're aware of where we put the points in our path so we can later adjust them as keyframes. And there we go. That is how we can animate an object along a path. I hope that was useful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.